reducing the malaria burden in Ankole sub-region. Now, the larvicide is a type of insecticide used to control mosquitoes indoors and outdoor around homes by killing the larvae there. Now, I think according to the World Health Organization, Uganda, of course, ranks third in the global malaria burden, like you said, with more than 12 million cases reported annually. That is too big. 12 million cases reported annually, and really it is really life-threatening. That, like you said, 3 out of 10 sick people in the country suffer from malaria. Now, during the launch, the initiative in Mitoma district on Monday, so this is in Mitoma, the permanent secretary of the Minister of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, who also represented by the officer, they carried out this initiative. Now, what they do, they also spread indoor and outdoor, but they're using this larvicide. I think it might really register something, because according to Dr. Mubangize said that the powered larvicide is extracted from chlorophyll of plants and is sprayed into mosquito breeding inhabitants, killing the larvae before they turn into adult mosquitoes.
That is good, because you see we're in a rainy season, and with the rainy season you have a lot of stagnant water that is kept in different parts, and it is easy for stagnant water to be in your home or maybe around the surrounding areas of your home without you notice. So it's very important that this kind of outdoor spraying is done, and I really hope that it can yield us results. And I think the ministry can as well as go ahead and focus on those particular regions that are struggling with mosquitoes. The burden is everywhere in the country, but there are particular regions that are struggling, especially the eastern part of Uganda. Now we go further ahead into the top stories, and now we go to UCCE. UCCE is deciding to boost local content growth in the country, especially when it comes to filmmaking. Now, according to DSTV, the Uganda film industry is growing higher. Actually, it's the fastest growing film industry in Africa. So they're looking into ways that they can help, not DSTV, but the industry as a UCCE is looking into ways they can develop this industry, so that they look for all the content creators around the country and make sure that they can uplift them, and this is going to be one of the ways that they can uplift the industry. So in this initiative, the UCC is deciding to boost local content through regional film competitions. So as I go through the story, if you're a filmmaker out there or maybe an actor, this is that particular story that you should pay very close attention to. And this story is extracted from New Vision. You can go ahead and pick yourself the app or maybe pick a paper.
And recently, I saw guys coming from Europe coming to empower Ugandans, teach them how they can improve more on their
content development,
talent, content development, and so many things. I hope this would work. But anyway, because once the industry booms, of course, revenue.
The revenue comes in.
Like we've seen the Nollywood, which is really bringing a lot of revenue to the government.
So the Uganda Communications Commission, through the Uganda Film Festival, has launched a regional film competition to boost Uganda's local content. Now UCC issued an invitation to filmmakers on November 1st of 2023, that was yesterday, that stated that the competition will cover different regions within the country, like northern region Moroto, eastern region Jinja, central will be Mityana, and the western will be Kasese. Let me say that again, depending on where you stay. The competitions will cover different regions, which include northern Uganda. They will be looking at Moroto, and then the eastern will be Jinja, central will be Mityana, and then western region, it's going to be Kasese district. So according to the communications regulator, the regional film competitions are meant to recognize, reward, and promote outstanding films and talent in different regions of Uganda. This competition is evangelized to promote diversity, build audiences, and also promote building leakages of local content. So all you have to do is make sure that you get yourself ready when the competition is in your region. So the call to Ugandan filmmakers requires submission of original content or categories of featured films, short films, documentaries, and television drama series not later than 31st of December 2023. Not later than 31st of December 2023. So that means that you have from now, if you're listening to this the very first time, till 31st of December to make sure that you organize your content, whether it is a short film that you had, whether it's a documentary that you have, whatever
could be a skit,
yes,
could be,
maybe a skit that you have. So organize yourself, and you have this time from now, the 2nd of November, all the way to 31st of December, and have your content ready. The regional film competitions have largely promoted Uganda's content, and this is going to be one of the methods that we are going to use, that the UCC is using to make sure that they reach you in your particular region and make sure that there's talent growth, talent discovery, and of course reward, which is going to boost the revenue.
And Namale, I think as we keep on, as UCC keep on, forefronting and pushing this thing, I think we also have to put in mind so much. UCC has also, they have to come with other stakeholders and also forefront and energize the corporate law in Uganda, which is so much lagging behind, a bit weak. I mean, there's so many content creators who are not benefiting from their stuff. The stuff is being adulterated. They're stealing their stuff. I mean, there is a lot of things happening in the market. So if UCC comes together with other stakeholders, they can fight this. We need to get the corporate law straightened up. When you go to other countries like in the West Africa, man, this thing is biting. It's working, and content creators are really benefiting from their content.
Yes, even just as close to us as Tanzania here, they benefit from their content a lot. So it would be a good venture, and it will also promote and uplift. Omanyina obere yonga, you have your content, but you are still struggling with letting it out there because you know it's going to be hard for you to benefit or profit from it. Atenga fenatu talent is afetwagala to profiting out of it. But what else do we have in the top?
Namale, the long-awaited contentious digital number plate. Now, this is the story, the headline on Daily Monitor. Government rolls out digital number plates. Now, long awaited, now it is here. So that means that all car owners have been given an ultimatum of 2 good years to transition from analog to digital. It is here, it is here. But now, there are many things that I'm about to unpack which are going to mesmerize you, because apparently we've been having so many people who are, people who are using names or as their private number plates.
Names, yes. Personalized number plates.
Personalized, exactly, that's the right word. Now, I think that thing is going to phase out.
Why?
Because now the analog has been having alphabetical kind of letters and writing. Now we're going to go into codes. Numbers, 1 2 3 4, A1 2 3 4, something like that. Apparently that's what one of the things.
I think there will still be a way people can have private number plates. Centers.
Okay, yeah, but okay.
Even when we are going digital,
as in it's not going to be in alphabetical order. It's going to be codes, number. As opposed to letters. Yeah, because even
the people that started having digital number plates way then also still have personalized number plates in some countries.
Especially for people who have been using names on their number plates. Namale, Chintu, I mean, those ones now I think is going to be faded away, and we're going to be resorting to codes, numbers like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, something like that. And now what is happening that yesterday researchers, technocrats, guests, we saw them from different government agencies gathered at the Ministry of Works Transport during the launch of the Intelligent Transport Monitoring, and something that's happening, the digital number plates launched. Car owners are given the ultimatum of 2 years to transition, and those are some of the things that we are talking about. The Ministry of Works and Transport has also mandated ordinary motor vehicle owners to transition from analog car registration number plates to digital ones within 2 years. I hope that's enough time, because man, if you are talking about something like 2 million cars, but anyway,
that's enough time really.
All right, now the adoption of the digital registration number plates is expected to enhance the tracking of vehicles, making it harder for criminals to use them in illicit activities, and disorganizing the country's security measures there. Now I hope normally this will also work, because sometimes they bring measures to curb insecurity, and before we know it, it is actually increasing. Now, during the launch of the digital number plate there today, the Minister of Works and Transport, accordingly, no one is allowed to tamper with the digital number plate.
Yes.
But there are so many people who are like, is the major aim security or clamping on opposition political leaders, because apparently you've been passing
leaders also, but like everything should be focusing on them. Shall we be talking about everything and focusing on them? But I don't want to go there. Leaving aside all the queries that we might have about who is producing these number plates, how we got this contract signed, leaving all that aside and trying to focus on the bigger picture or what is present, because said or done, digital number plates are here and we are not doing away with them. They have come. And leaving all the other questions I would have, I love the idea. I love the idea of the digital number plates, and I call out on Ugandans to roll out and have digital number plates. This is going to help us solve a lot of issues. This is going to help us solve a lot of cases that are still stagnant. This is going to really be helpful. And also that when comes digitalization, when there comes development.
Are you hopeful of this venture, Namale?
Yes, I am, actually. And it is going to work. And we are going to have digital number plates, and they are going to be beneficial to us.
Apparently, they started with government officials, with government agencies, vehicles for government. And apparently, the production, which is not yet constructed, but it's going to be built, that is in Bugolobi. That's where it's going to be built. So no one is allowed. It's going to be like that.
Yeah, but still, you see, someone can have their name and then a digit, which is the code, I guess, come after the name. You get? So, like, someone would have a Genesis 1, 2, 3. Now, that is the code. So you can still have your personalized number plate, and we'll have the code as well moving in hand with it. So honestly, I love this initiative, and I think it's going to really be of help when it comes to solving a lot, Chintu. It's going to really be helpful. So Ugandans should try to venture into it. I think it's a good point. Now, still in another story, we talk cross-generation sex. Cross-generation sex, which we thought is simply eating the youth in the Kampala metropolitan region. No, it is going as far as the outcasts of Uganda. It is going as far as Buyende district. It's going as far as the shores of Lake Victoria. Now let's dive into this story. So cross-generational relationships are a vice eating up the Buyende fishing communities. Now this story is in New Vision, and let's try to go through it. So officials in Buyende district in eastern Uganda have expressed their worry over the rising increase of cross-generational relationships in the fishing communities along the shores of Lake Kyoga. Now, cross-generation relationships are being characterized as the sugar daddy syndrome, is a pattern of sexual behaviors where, am I trying to detail it for you? I'm literally trying to detail cross-generational relationships. Omusajja omukulu alina emyaka 5, alina emyaka 6, alina emyaka 45, ng'alina wa 18,
naye wa 18 batakuze.
It doesn't change the fact that you're in a cross-generational relationship. Osanga omwana 22 years and she's with a 60-year-old man. That is cross-generational relationships.
18 si mulembe gwe. Avudde mu mulembe gwe nadda wano. Naye lwakuba ate n'etteeka ligamba nti oyo naye aba akuze we 18.
Aba akuze naye tekigaana kituufu kuba nti omusajja omukadde agenze n'anoonya akaana akato.
Omusajja omukadde we wa mukati.
Kubanga gwe woba mu myaka 60 years, right? N'obuuka abeena, n'obuuka aba 3. N'ogenda n'onoonya we 18. That is real crossing generations, Chintu.
Maybe twetaga tuyite
obuse emyaka 10.
Oba twetaga tuyite musajja mukulu w'emyaka 5 Shafiki atubuulire obwana buno obuto mukikinjawulo kiki ekitali mu mulembe gwabwe.
Okay, Buyende district, if you're wondering, is about 166 kilometers away from the capital Kampala and has a population of about 320,460 people. Now, the vice is eating up the people of the communities around Lake Kyoga. Emmanuel Waigulu, the district senior community development officer, said that often the fishermen move to the districts are characterized by 3 ways, including water, wine, and women. Let me say that again. The senior community development officer said that often the fishermen who come to these communities are being characterized with the 3 W's. And these 3 W's include water, banywa amazzi, wine, drinking alcohol, and 3 is their desire for women. Now, these women that they desire are the young women. So, however, these do not carry their wives. These fishermen, as they're coming to the communities, do not carry their wives. So they go into these communities and pick up on the young girls that are living in the community. Now, this is definitely increasing the prevalence of HIV/AIDS, the prevalence of school dropouts, the prevalence of teenage pregnancies.
Exactly, that's what I wanted to
That is where everything
to
leads.
raise, Namale, that water districts, until something is done as far as creating more education spaces, I mean, nothing's going to be, because most of the water districts, their biggest problem is that if it's HIV, women entanglement and all those things, sexual entanglement and everything, and also, idleness. And, also, because if you educate fishermen, you're going to now abort all those narratives. They depend on a hand to mouth and for a day. They don't have future for tomorrow.
I like what you say, that they depend on mouth to mouth. The development office have explained some of the factors that are fueling this growing vice of sugar daddy syndrome in their community in Buyende. And she said that of late, many people have abandoned fishing due to the deployment of the army on the lake. As a result, they cannot feed their families because the army has taken control and taken over most of the income generation activities that they were making. So the more the girls are in school, the more they get empowered to shape their future. But because they are no longer there, they are stagnant, sitting at home, and definitely these older men, these fishermen that are also idle and have no work doing, are picking up.
The army came to restore sanity on the lake, especially poor fishing vices that was creeping over there. But I think over a time, they also got involved in this lucrative. They did.
They realized how beneficial that it was. After watching, they're like,
oh, Kumbi, there is some venture here. So I think now it became problematic because the people are like, this is our zone, and the army is saying, now we are also in this space. We have to share it and something like that. I think, I don't know whether we'll ever come at the bottom of this, Namale, because since the 9th Parliament, the Speaker Rebecca Kadaga has been grappling with this army versus fishermen, beating each other and everything. So we don't know who is who. And
during her time in office as the Speaker of Parliament, Madam Rebecca Kadaga did not love the idea of the army's presence in these communities. She had opted another option, that we don't need the army there. We can have other alternatives because the army is handling these people. We don't need people that are trained to carry out duties that are supposed to be done on rebels to be living in the communities. Apparently, and using this energy and this much training they have.
The army was shifted from their major role, protecting border points and everything. Now they're involved in civilians. And one of the things that they're having challenges in handling civilians. Actually, civilians were meant to be handled by police because they know they're trained for that.
They're trained for that.
But now, because we've seen these things, one of the greatest violators of human rights have been, men in uniform, police and the army. We've seen how they're handling things, and they are so hard on people, and something I think has to be done.
Because they're not trained for that.
Exactly, and when these cases have not been really handled very well legally, because when you say they have to be punished, sometimes they're not penalized, sometimes they're saying that they're penalizing them, but
back then, I think that was in 2020, was it 2020, 2021, they had to employ a PR company. Now the UPDS had to employ a PR. As a elections, I think, Chintu. Videos ezali circulating on social media on how they were handling the people. The image of the army, the UPDF in particular, was all tainted. So they had to hire a company okusobola okuzerinya lyabwe, especially munsi ezebweru. So I really don't want them to go back to that point.
Do they mind?
Okay, maybe that's another thing. But by the time they got to hire a PR company, did they mind?
nga bayizo omanyeso olugamba okulaga omuntu nti kale ono kabenge yetonda kumbe
Well, that's what we had in the top stories today. We're glad you've been part of the show. Don't forget, we have Santa Claus that would be coming in anytime here on Bethany TV, anytime on any program. He could just bump in now as we get closer to Christmas. So make sure you're watching Bethany TV, and when Santa Claus shows up, all you have to do is call in and say Father Christmas. Do they call him? I still call him Father Christmas. I love calling him Father Christmas. It gives me the old, nice, beautiful memories of a young
God, of course,
So all you have is to call in and he will ask you any question, a simple question that you can answer about the programming of Bethany TV, and all you have to do is answer and then win yourself a prize. But that said, we will take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll be dealing with how we can add value to our bodies.
You're watching Healthy Morning. We'll be right back after the break. And now, more with Healthy Morning.
Good morning once again. Thanks for joining us. Chintumute Sasira Seniors. My name. You're watching Health Morning. We run Monday to Friday. Every morning we're here 6:30 to 9. And this segment is called Health Eating. Now we focus on what goes into your body. And our slogan goes that not everything that comes to your mouth comes to your hands, goes to your mouth. Those are immatures. Those are babies. Some of the things that come into your hands have to be scrutinized. If it's not beneficial, just drop it away and eat only quality, not quantity. So we say prevention is better than cure, and our slogan keeps on, rhyming, saying that food must become medicine as opposed to medicine becoming food. Tomorrow, who knows? Our next pharmacist could be in the gardens if nothing changes. Now, today we're looking at the health benefits of corn or maize. Yesterday we talked about ground nuts. Now we're talking about these wonderful breakfast, alternatives. So if you're planning to have breakfast, or if you haven't had breakfast, you might want to have, steamed corn or steamed maize for breakfast. Very, very, very beneficial and nutritious to your good body. Yet, like they say, you are what you eat. Look at yourself. Just go in the mirror, look at yourself. The way you look is what you eat. So you have to be mindful of what you're eating. Today, we're talking about grains. So continuing to, grains. Yesterday, we talked about more genus. Now, maize or corn is a healthy grain and a source of fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. We're talking about maize, kasoli, emiganyulo ejiri mu kulya kasoli. Kasoli mulungi nnyo oba onoonya ekyokulya ekyenkya ekiyamba omubiri. Funa kasoli gobolira ku kachayi. Funa kachayi akakalu kalimu omujaja mudalasini kalimu entangawuzi ojja kuwomerwa nnyo. Yes, there. Oteka mukasukali katini nnyo, toteka mungi nnyo. Taka musukali mutono kiwomekereze, then nga you enjoying obango womerwa ekyenkyacho. So maize may also promote eye and digestive health. Refined maize products, however, such as tortilla, they are cheap there, then could be also offer fewer benefits, but you have to get whole grain. Kasola ayinza okuba mwoche, ayinza okuba mufumbe, kugamba engeri yonna gy'omufunyeemu asobola okukola. Naye weewala omwoche omulya ng'aliko ebisiridde, kubanga ate ebisiridde nabyo bya bulabe nnyo. So twogera ku miganyulo ejiri mu kasooli olunaku lwa leero. Gwatanafuna kyankya agenda okufuna ekyenkya. Kati kasooli alimu, maize has got so many factual nutrients, of course. Now, here are some of the nutrients facts in maize. Now, when you talk about something like 3.5 ounce, that is 100 grams of boiled yellow maize, they have something like 39 calories, water at 73%, protein 3.4 grams, carbs at 21 grams, and sugar at 4.5 grams, but also fiber 2.4 and fat at 1.3. So we're talking about maize and how beneficial. And of course, like we said, it has fiber, it has a lot of things that can help you. Corn, we're talking about the health benefits in corn there. Corn is one of my favorite and I enjoy it. Normally, I don't know whether you've had a chance to test corn, but for for me, it's one of those delicacies that are really important to the body. Now, we've talked about the nutrients. Namale, could there be anything for corn?
No, really. Everything has been said, but it's important to also be aware that corn is high in starch. It has a lot of starch, so you need to consume it moderately as well. It is very good. It has it has a fiber, a lot of it, dietary fiber in it, and then we all know what it means when plant foods have dietary fiber. So yes, it's very good for your health. It's going to keep you satisfied for longer periods of time because of the fiber in it, and of course this is beneficial and has amazing nutrients for your body as well. But also you need to keep in mind that yes, it has a lot of starch. So you know, eat today, you can have a piece of corn today, you can have another tomorrow. You don't have to eat about 3 cobs of it before you realize that you've had enough maize, because of the high quantity of starch. Now that will not be very good for you, especially if you're trying to keep your body healthy in all aspects. But that said, that's what we had in Health Eating today, and we're glad you were part of the show. We hope you learned something as well. But we'll take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll be looking into the world of business and what exactly is happening. An amazing story comes forward.
Bethany TV for health. Are you looking for a platform to advertise your business and boost your sales? Bethany TV got you covered. Take advantage of our introductory rates and maximize your leverage for brand awareness, advertising, product launching, live coverages, activations, and so much more. For booking and more information, contact our sales team on 0785 576 269. Bethany TV for health. Introducing Bethany TV, the pioneer health and wellness channel in Uganda and Africa, having a profound commitment to health and wellness. Our content takes various forms, from music and series to documentaries, talk shows, news, features, movies, cartoons, and reality shows. We are a hybrid station available on free-to-air and pay platforms, embracing the digital age as we maintain a strong online presence through our website, social media platforms, and mobile apps. Explore our rich and diverse content, engage with us on social media, and be a part of the positive change we aim to bring to the health and wellness landscape. Bethany TV for health. Are you ready for this good news? You can now watch Bethany TV on Yo TV, Afromobile, and Airtel TV apps. Yes! Catch the finest programming prescription for everybody, wherever you are, whenever you are. Bethany TV for health.
Health Minutes on Bethany TV. Food can impact your well-being and help your body be at its best. Let's look at the different foods that are known immune boosters. Fish that have high levels of omega-3 fatty acids, such as tilapia, are known to increase activity among white blood cells, which fight infection. Pumpkin seeds are good for our immune system due to the presence of vitamin E and zinc. Vitamin E enhances immune responses and protects against several infectious diseases. It is also a powerful antioxidant and prevents free radicals from damaging healthy cells in our body. Asian spices like garlic, ginger, and turmeric, in addition to giving your food some energy, specifically have anti-inflammatory properties and cardioprotective effects through their blood cholesterol-lowering abilities. Vitamin C-rich foods such as oranges, red pepper, tomatoes, broccoli contain high levels of vitamin C. Research shows vitamin C is essential for the growth and repair of tissue all over the body. Better healthcare for a better tomorrow. That was the Health Minute.
Bethany TV, for health.
Welcome back from that quite very short break, and it's exactly 27 minutes past 7. We dive into our business today, finding out and figuring out what is happening in the world of business and what are the biggest stories that are in the world of business. Now, here is where we start. During COVID-19, we all remember a company called Pfizer that was one of the distributors of COVID-19 vaccines. Now, the amount of revenue that this company was collecting during that time, who knew that as we speak right now, we would be talking about the fact that Pfizer is reporting losses after the COVID-19 revenue is now shrinking. Now, this story is in the New Vision and you can go through it as well. So Pfizer reported on Tuesday a loss following a sharp fall in the sales of its COVID-19 vaccine and therapeutic from the pandemic peaks. The drug maker reported a third quarter loss of about $2.4 billion and compared with the 8.6 billion in profit for the year ago period. Now that is for last year and a few years before. So results were denied. I beg your pardon. Results were dented by a $5.6 billion inventory write-down in COVID-19 pandemic for the therapeutic and the vaccine community. The results came after Pfizer on October declared that they have now gone low when it comes to revenues. So this means that okuva ensi ezimu ezatandika okureporting a decline in COVID-19 in their countries, it means also the demand of the vaccines of COVID-19 have gone down. So countries that had actually not vaccinated most of their people, because of the decline in the cases of COVID-19 in their countries, they have also decided not to go ahead to purchase the COVID-19 vaccines. So those other countries that were hoping that maybe they would need a COVID-19 second dosage, and others thought they were actually going to need a third dosage, that puts Uganda as well. We were also hoping that at one point we are going to need a third dosage. So as we speak right now, who is talking about having a third dosage of COVID-19 vaccine? Okay, who is actually talking about purchasing a COVID-19 vaccine for the number of Ugandans that are actually not vaccinated? No one. And that is not applying just in Uganda, but in most of the other countries. Now, because of this, there is a decline in the purchase of COVID-19, particularly the Pfizer vaccine, and company etandise okukkirira. So as we speak right now, the company has undertaken no shares repurchases this year, and none are expected in the fourth quarter of the year. So the shares of Pfizer, which rose 0.1% in pre-marketing trade, have also gone down. So that is where we stand with Pfizer.
Because most of those guys, this was clearly business.
But of course,
and that's why they had to enforce it on people and keep on, we are suspecting another wave, please take, because they're afraid, first of all, their vaccines are getting expired.
Yeah.
So they're like countries, at least you buy and store.
And store them.
And we saw even here in Uganda, vaccines were getting expired, and so, Minister of Health, calling upon people. Yeah. At some point, they were saying of mandatory vaccination. And we were like, okay, this is my body. How was medicine? No legal basis, no whatever, So I'm really feeling bad for Pfizer, but also for Moderna and even other
companies.
Exactly, because now business is over. What are they going to do?
It's
now,
over.
Suppose
it's totally over now.
In Namale, they manufactured a lot of stuff and they stocked. They're like now.
But you know what happened? There were countries that had that were expected to be making orders, ordered of the second vaccine, orders of the third vaccine.
Orders.
Yes.
And sometimes they're like, but the cases are going down.
And I think when World Health Organization came out and declared COVID-19 to be no longer a matter of national emergency, other countries were like, I think we're good. We are not spending. I think most countries had spent too much money in the treatment and prevention of COVID-19 and also trying to control it in their particular countries. So when they had a chance of World Health Organization saying, "No, it's no longer an issue of emergency," so everyone is like, do we have to spend this much? We have already spent too much. Yes, ebuzeewo mangu yajja speed n'okubulawo nekola ki.
But I have to say, I wish they knew God. Now they'll be on their knees creating an altar to pray God that COVID will resurface. It will never. It will never. So
it will never resurface. Okay, do we have something else in business?
Yeah, something else in business. Now, normally, we all know what happened to the Norwegian government
or leaving
relocating Uganda. Not only Uganda, but other African countries there. But also, we've been seeing Uganda has been grappling with the foreign relations, the people they're working with, the relationships are on shaky grounds, especially in the West. When we talk about countries like US and everything, IMF, World Bank suspending their funding to Uganda. All those things have had really some impact. But just like other countries are leaving, recently we saw other ones who left before, and they're continuing to leave, and they're like, we're leaving. But Norway is pledging their support to Uganda, even when they have left. They're like, we are still with you, Mr. President. We are going to keep on working with you on and on and on, and we are not planning to stop supporting Uganda, because Norway is supporting a lot. Now, yesterday we saw, maybe producer can give me that picture there, President Museveni met with them, receives the credentials from Norwegian Embassy, Anna Christian Hansen there, saying that no, Norwegian government will continue supporting its existing partnership and programs under the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation. That's what called NORAD. The country's ambassador to Uganda disclosed that we are going to continue in business and we're going to continue strengthening our ties. Now, Ms. Ann also there reassured, her reassurance comes after recent revelations that the Nordic country will close its embassy in Uganda, but the closure of these embassies don't mean that our relationship are also coming to the rocks. But we're going to continue to thrive and work and work and work and keep on doing a lot of stuff. Now, apparently, Norway is supporting a lot of stuff. She particularly talked about the impact on which lives of women and girls in Uganda, citing that the inroads made by the joint program on ending gender-based violence, and is also, we have to continue with it, but also there is also something that is talked about, the support for campaign against female genital mutilation. Now, Norway has been behind these campaigns and supporting Uganda financially through their significant reduction in prevalence of the female genital mutilation and the FGM there in Uganda. That's the female genital mutilation. She said that, and she added that supporting through the UN Women for Women, Peace and Security has allowed Uganda to develop and implement its national action plan. So they're saying that we are going to be there and we are going to continue support more and more and more and more. The ambassador also said that during their courtesy visit of the ministry to the Minister of Gender and Social Development headquarters in Kampala, that they say that we are going to continue. We're going to continue that the values, the respect, the integrity, the creativity, the development, and all the endeavors, everything we've been injecting in money in, we are going to continue working in hand. And I think that is good news, because we've been worried, how are we going to handle life? How are we going to handle business if these partners are out? Because normally we talk about challenges like female genital mutilations, which are going on. When we talk about gender violence, when we talk about so many things, these people have been injecting in a lot of money. If they pull out, it's going to be problematic. When we talk about mental, health, we need partners to keep injecting in money to create more awareness and to continue to guide the country and alleviate these challenges.
Norway has been one of the biggest investors in the sexual reproductive health in Uganda, especially particularly in women. It has been one of the biggest investors in any kind of project that has anything to do with allowing women understand that your body is your responsibility, your body is your right. What you do with your body is up to you, and it's a decision that you make for yourself. Now, there are so many women-centered projects that they have been part of. So I think that is why when we heard them say they are leaving the country, we thought about the fact that, okay, are they going to stop the investments they have been doing? And yes, it is a good thing that they came out to make it clear that they are not going to be. They still have interest in women because they feel like a big percentage of women in Uganda are not aware of their rights, especially when it comes with handling and the decisions that are being made on their bodies in particular. So I like the fact that they came out and stated it very clearly. They still have the interests they have in supporting the women generating projects in the country, and they're going to continue supporting and investing in the sexual reproductive health within the country, and are not going to be stopping anytime soon despite their departure from the country. So no worry not, we still have that investment in that particular sector. So we're still thankful to them. They're leaving so many countries, and they gave some of the reasons as why they've decided to leave, and they say this is more of us trying to allocate this money into other ventures that are going to be helpful to the Norwegian people, other than just
because running an embassy, it's very, very costly in here.
Yes,
so we can be in our countries, but we can still send the money. Actually, the money would have been spending on embassy, running on their work and everything, expenses, administration costs. If we are there, that money can be actually retrieved to you and benefit the people.
As we wind down, Chintu, I wanted to pass through. So yesterday, city traders were protesting over rent in particularly Kabale.
Yes.
So the city traders that yesterday morning were protesting on the increase of rent. Now, this is the challenge. I'm going to break down this story because of time. The owner of their arcade, who is a one person called Drake Lubega, increased their rent by 10%. But how did he increase their rent? He increased their rent unexpectedly and expected them that by the end of the month, illegally at that, at the end of the month, they should have been able to top up mwezi guno gwa November igwera. They should be paying that increment in 10%, and if they don't pay that 10% increase by the end of this month, they'll be paying a fine next month if at all they don't pay this month. So the traders were protesting and saying you can't expect to just first of all illegally increase the rent, and also increase the rent at a time when you know we are struggling with already paying what is available right now, and yet also tell us that if at all we do not pay it, you are going to give us a fine and then evict us.
I think I want to thank the traders for being outspoken, for knowing their rights, for coming out solid in solidarity single-handedly and say enough is enough. One of the other thing is that in life some people think they are above each other. It's me, you're dependent on me. If I'm not around, you are away. But I think there has to be interdependency. You see, Mr. Drake and other landlords cannot survive without tenants. Actually, it would be a waste.
That would be,
a waste of money.
Most of them would be battling
the money they spend constructing these buildings and everything. So if you have clients, your clients are your bosses. If they say, if we are to respect that. But I think Africans are also still struggling with this pride kind of talk. I don't need you. This is my, if you leave, you go. I'll get other people. And that is really, really so bad.
That's even illegal, Chintu. You don't wake up just like that and have a 10% increment on your rent,
because
and then expect people to pay it at the end of the month.
The landlord-tenant bill is clear. When do you increase rent?
Yes, there is a particular period of time.
Them. Exactly.
Yes, you have to give them a particular period of time for them, and in that particular period of time, they need to make a decision of whether they'll be able to deal with your 10% increase, or if they're not going to be able, they have enough time to shift and leave your building.
Amateeka bagakola nawe tebasobola gakwata naye nga olina kwongeza omulundi gumu mu mwaka olina ate okubategeeza ng'ebula emyezi ng'esatu nti banaye kwongezaamu and naye bakoze bulungi abasuubuzi bonna nze njagala beegunge babeere wamu we bati
batandise okugula amaso, they know their rights now.
Baagala kufuuka.
So that's what we had in business today. Thank you so much. We will take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll be looking at some of the amazing destinations in the world and just so where it is that you might have that next December vacation.
You're watching Healthy Morning. We'll be right back after the break. And now, more with Healthy Morning.
Welcome back once again. We are in destination. I wish I was a tourist. I would just come, guys, come. Wherever you are watching us from, wherever Africa, come. You need to take a look at this beautiful twin lakes. We're talking about Lake Chama, Kamweru, Kitanda. They're amazing, beautiful lakes. But let's just dive into it. That is it for tourism. That is amazing. Yeah, Namade, where do you think we go? Sports?
I was here thinking, yesterday I was watching Back to Basics.
Yes.
And they were talking about depression. And the can I call it a psychiatrist, said, ogenda wulira olinga agamba naye ndi depressed. So the host is like, yeah, kati abamanyi nga bali depressed naku. Agamba, yeah, naye abamanyi bali depressed. Naye tebanatuuka ku point eyo. Just abamanyi bali stressed. Nagamba, what is depression? Depression is when you consistently are depressed. And you're stressed, then you become depressed, then you become depressed. So the host is like, kituufu, yetugenda abamanyi bagenda sigala nga bagetinga depressed and depressed.
Omutima omuzadde. Omutima omuzadde. Ofokasinga ennyo ku nsonga ya president yagamba buy Uganda, build Uganda.
Awo siwonzigiramu. Awo wonzigiramu.
Oyogere ku mukwano gwo Vanessa Kalubuki. Ekyo tugamba ebintu ng'ebyo amanye ebyemizannyo kyembitegeddeko. Tocreatinga depression. Toleeta mental disorder. Kola ekintu ekiyamba kuba tuli ba health. Kati kiki ekikutwala mu bintu by'ebulayi.
Kati mumanyi babayambe bakyobutabala depression. Babayambe bakyobutabala depression abamanyi.
Naye ng'ebyaddala bakubamu. Ebyaddala tiimu nkambwe mu ennaku zino zikuba
zibalwaza
ogera kuzaabwa
bakuba tebalina gwe baleka mabega. Njogera ku ze Uganda, njogera ku tiimu ze Uganda zikuba tezimanyi bidongo.
Abo walidde
naye nkugambye onzijemu biri ebyeringi esonyiwe. Genesis gwa setting omuwendo
mumpa meka
antemereka mmeka tulya kiwatu 50-50
nti mugenda kunkwasa busente wewe butyo
tulya kiwatu 50-50 zantemera
goli naye nno nga ayagala okulya
yagala 10 kale kambatere ku 10 obusente butono nnyo.
Okay, ampe 10 birimbi esonyiwe kale tekawo amazika abiri
oba nkuwe connection eri geno kati onoba olina kyomanja
connection nja kunyumiza connection gye nagendako eyansala
eyo naye eri mu byamizajyo
naye nga mwasuze mutya abalabi ba Bethany TV. Mbebaza okubanga mugikeereddeko mu kaseera kano ate nga tukyagendera ddala maaso ne programu eno eya Health Morning mpaka ssaawa zigenda kubeera 3 ez'okumakya ag'olunaku olwaleero nga tugenda maaso n'okukwata ku nsonga ezitali zimu. Ndi wano kubeera nga mbawa ebyemizannyo ate nabyo mugende maaso